Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. I want to do that through consistency and discipline. Today, we're here to do a weekly budget check in to figure out how much money I was able to save from my variable expenses, and then to talk through a change that I'll be making going forward with my check ins that I will do. I'd like to thank everybody who has liked or commented on any of my videos, and especially those that have chosen to subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate it. I started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I understand, recognize, and respect the community as a whole. So if you're rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't made up your mind yet, sit with me for a spell, take a look at this video, and at the end, if you find that this is content that you find valuable or enjoyable, please feel free to subscribe. So I've got to reconcile all of my budget as far as this week is concerned. But the first thing I need to do, let me sit this over. All right, let's start here. So for my, sorry y'all. Okay, there you go. Okay, so for the big monthly overview, and I'm tracking from the week of the 8th through the 14th. So the tithes came out, Verizon came out. Yes, we had daylight savings time. And I am so happy that it is so much lighter in the afternoons or evenings, so you can feel like you can do something, go out, take a walk, whatever the case may be. But anyway, so Allie cleared, Discover cleared, one of my Apple Cares cleared. Yes, I did my election duties, and Xerxes did go to boarding from Monday through Wednesday. iCloud came out, but it came out on the 12th, and I had it for the 14th. So I went ahead and marked it off, and then I wrote myself a note to make sure that for April, I moved iCloud to the 12th. So I must have had the wrong date documented. So I need to make sure I take care of that. I've not seen this other Apple Care or AT&T clear yet, so that's why they haven't been highlighted as of yet. One of the other things that I said I wanted to do was text Chan, he's my lawn guy, about my lawn treatment. I was supposed to have one scheduled for the end of March, and I said I was going to move it to the first week of April or the second week of April, just to allow me a little bit more time to save up for lawn in my sinking fund. But I noticed after this last lawn treatment, I now have a few little spots in my front yard. Now, this happened one time before, and he started to add water to the lawn treatment overall, which as he was spraying it, and that helped things to kind of grow back. But now I'm seeing a few little spots again now after this recent lawn treatment. So what I think I'm going to tell him to do is that instead of coming 7 times in the course of the year, he does one every 6 to 7 weeks, and he usually comes about 6 to 7 times in the course of the year to do a lawn treatment. I'm going to tell him I just want one lawn treatment a season, so that will be 4. That helps because it almost cuts me down in half as far as these lawn treatments are concerned, and that will be a big help because we're moving into spring and summer, and I'm going to have to start getting my lawn cut again as well. The treatment is $55. The cut is $65, and he was doing that every 2 to 3 weeks, the cut. So by not having as many lawn treatments, that'll allow me to have a little bit more money saved up in my sinking funds so that I can manage this additional cost a little bit better over the next 2 quarters, spring and summer. Okay. All right. So I think that is it. Oh, and the last thing is GoDaddy. So I had a GoDaddy. I actually have 2 domains through GoDaddy. I canceled one and I'm going to keep the other. It was supposed to come out on the 8th, and I checked on the 8th. Well, I checked up until today. Today is the 14th, and it still has not cleared. So that means that I did everything right. We don't have to worry about that cost coming through any longer. All right, so we are here to cover again from my weeks run from a Friday to a Thursday. So from the 8th through the 14th, we're going to cover the expenses for that. And then I'm going to share how I'm going to track expenses from the 15th through the 21st, or every week going forward, just to help myself a little bit more. So on Wednesday, that was yesterday, I went to pick up Xerxes, and while I was on my way to the boarding place, my video came up. I always watch YouTube budgeting videos, and my budget video came up. So the one that was that I did for the last paycheck budget closeout. So with that, I was listening to myself, and I had a aha moment. So let me find my form just to cover. So I had a aha moment. So that at the beginning of the video, I was talking through my bills and how they came out, and I said for Xerxes groom, because he was not able to go to the groomer, that I was going to put a 0 for that and save pretty much that $50. In the course of the video, though, you hear me mention, you know what, maybe I'll have the boarding place go ahead and shampoo him and clean him up before I pick him up, and that means I won't have to worry about doing a Xerxes groom. So I marked it as 0 because I don't have to worry about taking him to the groomers. Now, I don't know if I thought that the boarding place was just going to shampoo him for free. I don't know why it didn't dawn on me, hey, you need to make sure you still account for the money, the additional money now that you have to pay Xerxes boarder, because you're asking them to shampoo him as well. Never even crossed my mind. Okay. So then in the video, I was talking about my unplanned expenses, and I am tracking those a little bit more because I am noticing that I'm getting a little spendy, which usually happens around the spring and summertime. And so I had a total of $91 that I spent that was unplanned. When I finished my budget, I was $10 over budget. And I say in the video, you know, this probably would have been higher if it wasn't for the fact that I initially thought I was going to be under budget by $31, and the fact that because I don't have Xerxes groom that I have to pay for, that's $50 extra that I have in my account, which we all know is not going to be the case because I still have to pay, in my mind, I still have to pay for his shampoo. I just wasn't thinking about it at the time of the video. But if you took that $50 that I had left over from the groomers, you add that with the $31 that I thought I was going to be under budget, that's $81. When you subtract that from 91, you come up with $10 over budget. So my budget balanced out and it closed out exactly how it should. But again, that $50, I was really supposed to take it and move that money over and use it along with the money I had saved up in a sinking fund for his boarding to cover the cost. Since I've already spent the money because of my unplanned, since I've already basically spent that $50, I had to pull additional money from his sinking fund to cover his shampoo. So now I am 0. I think I might have $10 left in Xerxes sinking fund, and that's an issue because he has another boarding event that he will have during the summer, and I am trying to save up as well because around August, September time, he has his yearly checkup that we need to pay for, and that's what the sinking fund was for. So now I've got to figure out a way to put some of this money back. So between how I double spent Xerxes groom money and the unplanned expenses that I have, I am going to treat things a little bit different going forward when I do this weekly check-in. So first, let's talk through this week's check-in and see how that is going. So let me go back to my form. So this was the initial paycheck budget, and I budgeted for week 1 of expenses: 40 for gas, 120 for groceries, 50 for spend, and 40 for home. So let's see how I did. So on my Finance Pal for my expenses, here we go. Here's my list. All right, so Walmart, I spent $35. That's a home expense for paper towel, toilet tissue, those types of things. So I spent $35 for home. For spend, that's in red, and that's basically dining out. And I only ate out once, so that was $20 for spend, which was good. All right, next, gas. Gas was $29 with Circle K. So let's mark that down. One expense was $29. Kroger, I had 2 expenses for groceries. So I went to Kroger twice, $78 and 14 equals $92. So let's put 92 for groceries. And the other expenses that you see are all unplanned. That's why they're highlighted in this like light gray color. So I had to give Corinne $20. She went to UGA for a fundraiser, and I gave her and her friends some money for them to be able to get something to eat. She also had another fundraiser on the 13th. Yesterday. So I gave her $10 for that. And then I ordered some dice from Amazon, which was $6. And those dice I'm going to be using for my mini savings challenges that I'm going to be doing. That money does not hit up against my variable expenses. Those are the ones that I document for unplanned. So I am tracking all of those unplanned expenses. I just track them here and not as a part of my variable. So all right, I've already got the 92. Let's add this up and see where we are. 29, 20, and 35 equals 176. Okay, and let's subtract that from 250, which is how much I give myself, and that leaves $74. So I should have $74 in my wallet. All right, so let's see what we've got. Here's the money, and I got some change. I got a lot of change actually. So let's see what we're looking like. Make sure that's it. Yeah, that's it. All right, and I'm gonna leave this out because I still need to, you know, sometimes I take some of this money and I put it back into a rollover envelopes that I have to have for future variable expenses if I need it. And then some of this money I will use for savings challenges. So first, let's count. 20, 40, 60, 71, $72. And we're gonna assume this is $2 and change. And that will be my 74. So very good. Let's go ahead and get my coin tower out. And let's put up my pennies. Let's put up my nickels. When March is over, that'll be the first quarter of 2024 done. I think at that point, I did not empty this out at the end of last year. So I just decided to wait a little bit longer, which I did. But I do think I'm ready to go ahead and empty it now. So I don't know if I'll take it to one of those Coinstar machines at Kroger, or if I'm going to take it to the bank and deposit it in there. If I do that, I probably need to call the bank to see if they prefer for the coins to be wrapped or not wrapped, because sometimes it's an issue. All right, so that's all of my change there. And let's talk through what I'm going to do with this extra money. So for dining, so I gave myself 50. I spent 20, which means I should have 30 left. I'm just going to take 20 of that 30 and put it in here for dining. Come on, go in there. Okay, cool. Gas, I give myself 40. I spent 29, so I'm gonna take the 10 and put that. Oh, let me put it with this 20 as well. So that'll be $30 that I have for rollover, which is great because we're going to UTC Chattanooga for a campus tour, and we're doing that not this weekend, but next weekend. So, hey, there you go. So extra money for gas is always good. So we'll have that. And that's it. I don't have anything for shopping that I'm going to worry about. So I'll go ahead and put this up. That leaves me $22 for my savings challenges. I already have $29 in here in some 5s and 1s. And I'll explain to you guys where that $29 came from right now. So 42 is in there. I already have 29. All right, so that balances out my variable expenses for now. So for my envelope rollover, so I have 176 for envelope rollover, cash envelope rollover. I just put $20 in, no, $10 in gas, $20 in dining. So that was 30 for that. And then variable rollover is 42. Okay. There's a $2 difference here, and I'm okay. So it's not going to be exactly perfect because that's the change. And I don't add the change into one of these categories, but I'm pretty close and I'm good, or I'm okay with that. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera quite a bit. But I'm good with that. So it should have been $74 rolled over. I'm really rolling over 72. Part of that is going into a cash envelope. Part of it is going into rollover for next week. And so let's talk about next week now. So here's what I am going to start to document down for the next week. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to do a bi-weekly paycheck budget with me. But then after that, I am going to separate each week and do one of these budgets for each of the week, where I'm not only going to track my expenses, which is typically what I track and what we just talked about for this previous week, but I'm also going to track any bills that are coming out as well, and any debt that's coming out as well. And I am going to go ahead, and if I have money set aside for savings or for sinking funds, I'm going to go ahead and do it now. This is going to help twofold. Number one, this is going to keep me more on track to make sure that I don't overspend when it comes to unplanned expenses, because now I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at it in a 2-week cycle. I'm looking at it in a 1-week cycle. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this will help to keep down my savings stuffing videos, help keep those down to a more normalized number as far as how long, the length of the video. This last one was 45 minutes long. And I know that's because I've now added a low priority binder, and I've added some more savings challenges as well. So I needed to, and I'm going to be adding a senior binder that we talked about as well, the senior year binder that I did a walkthrough of. So I am going to not hold all of the money that I have for savings challenges to do just one time every other week. I'm going to start to do those every week. And so that was the reason I ordered the dice. I'm going to do a mini savings challenge 1 week and then a mini savings challenge the second week. And that should reduce how long those videos are at that paycheck period time frame. Okay, so there you go. All right, so the way that I'm going to handle this is, number one, I need to look at my account to see how much money I still have in there to roll over. So I've already done 1 week's worth of bills. We've already marked all of those out. So I still have $900 in my bills account. I always give myself $250 for variable expenses. That's what you see here, the normal numbers that you typically see, and that's $250. I actually got a Georgia tax refund in my bank account. It was for more than for more than $29. It was like $50 or $52, something like that. So I'm going to use $29 of it towards sinking funds or savings challenges for this week. The other piece I left in the bank, and we're going to spend that today. We're going to eat out today. We have a lot of meetings and practices and everything else. It's going to be late before I get home with my youngest. And so we're going to use some of that money as well for that. And then the rest of it is just sitting in the variable expense account just as a cushion. I don't get a large check at the end, at the beginning of the year for tax refund. I know some people do, and they're able to use that to stuff sinking funds and savings, etc. I don't do mine that way. I need that money throughout the course of the year, and I don't feel like giving the government an interest-free loan. That's just how I feel. But overall, so you won't see a large cash stuffing for a tax refund for me. That's just not the way that I roll. So I got but I did get $29 back for Georgia tax. I'm not really getting anything back for federal. Like I said, I try to work it so that I'm almost at zero for the amount, so that, hey, I don't owe them, they don't owe me, they're not in my business, I'm leaving them alone, we're good. And I just figured out that I've got $42 that I'm rolling over towards our savings challenges for this week. That was the 42 that we just walked through. So that's 900, 250, 29, $242. And so I'm working with $1,221 overall for this week, just the week of March 15th through the 21st. In that time frame period, I should have 3 bills that need to be paid: water, Spotify, and my class dues. And that equals $62. So let's put that there. I'm gonna hold off on savings. I talked about my variable expenses. That's $250. I already knew that, so I have that in. I have debt that I have 3 debts that I have to cover during this week as well: auto loan, Kohl's, and Green Sky, and that equals $683. Okay. Now for savings. So first, I am going to use some of this money, some of that rollover money for my bills account, and I'm going to put $50 into Xerxes sinking fund. So I used $30 that he had in there, and like I talked about before, I'm at like $10, but there's a lot that's going to need to be covered in the weeks to come for him. So I am going to take $50 and actually move it over to my Ally account in his sinking fund so that I can start to beef that back up. I have $29 and $42 between the Georgia tax refund and the variable rollover. So I have $71 to work with as far as savings is concerned. So that's separate from the sinking fund. That's coming out of the bills account. This is all just the money I was able to save and that I got for the tax refund. So I am going to, in my 2024 binder, I'm on March, and that amount is $250 or $350. So I'm gonna put a little bit towards that. I'm gonna do $15 towards that one. I want to do something for my bedroom makeover. So for my low priority sinking fund, I have one for bedroom makeover, and I really want to get that one done sooner rather than later. So I'm going to give $10 towards that. I want to leave a nice bit of money for the savings challenges so that I'll have a good amount of ones to kind of do the randomizer kind of thing. I want to try that out. So I want to leave a good amount for that. So this says $46. Let's check that. Yes, I did 29 plus 42, 71. All right, so minus 15 is 56, minus 10 equals 46. So that leaves $46 for the savings challenge. All right, cool beans. That is a good amount. I probably could take 6 more. So I have a 15. Nope, I'm gonna leave it like that. All right, so let's add this up. That's 50 plus 46 plus 15 plus 10 equals 121. All right, so that's $121 for that. All right, so let's write in these totals and see where we are. Working with $1,221. Let's minus bills of 62. Expenses is 250. Savings is 121. Debt is 683. This is my heavy pay period or my heavy week for debt. All right, so 1221 minus 62 minus 250 minus 121 minus 683 equals $105. So I'm still under budget by $105, which is good. I'm just going to roll that over to the next week, and hopefully I won't have any unplanned expenses that will hit up against that. But that is what we're looking like, and this is what I will do going forward for every week. I will take care of my variable expenses, but I'm also going to track my bills, my debt, and savings. So I will create a video with 121, nope. So it's just going to be the savings challenges only. Lord, Monique, don't take $121 out of the bank. So it's 46, 15, and 10. So it is just the amount of money, $71. that I have, that I saved from the Georgia tax refund and that I saved from my variable expense. So this should be $71 because I already got the 29 out for the refund. So let me count it. And this will be what I'll use for my, I'll have to change out these 20s, but this is what I'll use for my mini challenges that I'm gonna do on Monday. So 20, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 71. That's it. That's $71. So this is what I'll use to do my savings challenges with. Yay! It all ended out right. Okay. All right, we are good to go then. I did not know this video is going to be 25 minutes long. We are good though. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.